What up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is a double feature of the Marvel Legends Venom Wave Venompool Build-A-Figure series, Spider-Man, Maximum Venom, Miles Morales, and Ghost Spider action figure review. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's take a look at these Venomized versions of Miles Morales and Ghost Spider. Now from what I gathered, the Maximum Venom will be the title for the third season of Marvel's current Spider-Man animated TV series on Disney XD. Couldn't really find much animated pics of how they look in the series except for the ones you see on screen here. Ghost Spider looks pretty accurate, but Miles doesn't have that Carnage-esque looking face. It's almost a different design completely. However, some artwork for the show has a better match for Miles with that Carnage looking head, and the Ghost Spider looks so damn awesome in my opinion. Never seen the show, so for those who've seen it, let me know if it's worth checking out. First, taking a look at the Venomized Miles Morales here, I gotta say, it gives me a Spider Carnage kind of vibe, and just Carnage in general. I really dig the head sculpt. It looks so cool, and what you're seeing right here, that is sculpted on. It is not painted. So yeah, you could feel a lot of that symbiote texture going around. I feel like there's missing paint like right there. I think they forgot to paint that part red, but for the most part everything else looks kind of good. Some areas missing here, so not 100% on the paint right there. But the eyes look good, at least the white part. It does bleed around the eyes here, you know, where the red is. The teeth look really sharp, so I like that. You got the red tongue in there. So it's a really good sculpt in my opinion. Now for the body, let's talk about the design here, because it's totally different from the Miles Morales, you know, we're used to seeing with the small spider on the top. This one has a very large spider that's taken up the entire torso, where the other traditional, you know, Miles Morales costume, he has the logo on the upper part of his torso. So on the back, it looks good though. Has a big spider on the upper back, so that looks really cool. I like the design there. And just like the original costume, the design on the torso, it connects to the shoulders, so you do get that there, and that looks really good. It's painted on there. The symbiote parts right here are not painted in red on the biceps, so I wish it was kind of painted in red, but maybe that's just the way he looks in the show or by the artwork. Actually double checking, he doesn't have these symbiote linings on the arm. So hey, I could probably see this being reused as a Ultimate Carnage, so that would be pretty cool, right? You know, this size, since the Carnage symbiote took over Peter Parker in the Ultimate Comics, this would definitely be a great reuse for that. I would love to see that. Then you get the red right here, the, you know, the symbiote crawling towards its hands, and that looks really cool. The fingers are in red, inside the palm is in that navy bluish kind of color. Yeah, some gross but cool looking fingers. And he's got this spiky forearm right here, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, overall, I like the arms. So the arms are newly sculpted on this guy. The rest is the same though. It's like the last Miles Morales, the last Ultimate Spider-Mans they came out with in this teen buck. So I like the blue in here for some reason. It's really popping out to me. You know, it's not really metallic. I don't know. I can't explain it. But you definitely get a little shimmer here and there. But the rest of the legs are plain until you get to the feet. So the feet is newly sculpted. You got these Venom-like toes right there, or Carnage-like toes, I should say. And yeah, nicely sculpted. Red on the bottom, no peg holes at the feet whatsoever. Now taking a look at Gwen Stacy, aka Venomized Ghost Spider, which I hate that name, Ghost Spider. I'm gonna call her Gwenom. Can I call her Gwenom? Yeah, I'm gonna call her Gwenom. I'll call her whatever I feel like, but she looks absolutely amazing. I really like the way this character looks. Just so good. I really like the symbiote as the hood right here. Looks like, you know, it's taken over her face. It looks like it's about, it is a mouth. I mean, you see these teeth right here, so it just looks like it's gonna close in on her face and eat her own head. But you can see teeth marks right there too. That's really cool. Inside of the hood, you can see where it's like pink in there, and I like the eyes too. Got the pink trimming around the eyes. So metallic looking, or metallic painted hood, I should say. That looks good. I really like the way this hood came out. The rest of the body, she's in this nice dark blue yet shiny looking blue color. looks really good. I just love the color palettes to this figure. I really, really do. You got the jacket right here with the spikes on the shoulders, so that looks really good. You got this crooked design of a spider logo, so that looks good. And you got wrinkles right there. You got the legs coming off onto, you know, her chest area. And as you can see, there's no design in there. At the top of the neck, you can see there's like this buckle, like this little zipper, because it's like a pull down looking type of suit. I mean, you're never gonna see it because it's always gonna be covered by this hood, but wow, man, it looks really, really good. At first I wasn't sure what to make of this figure, but now that I have it on hand, I like it more than I thought I would. And her hands right here, she's got that spiky, just like Miles Morales, they have that spiky looking bone coming out of their forearm. Got the white paint, you know, some of that symbiote crawling around her forearm. So that's cool. Got the patch right there on top of her hand. The hands came out nicely sculpted as well. These are new hands. So, you know, this whole forearm down are new. And looking at it on the other side, looks really good. Now, the craziest looking thing about this figure is that tongue. It is crazy long, and it is sick. Like, just the way it's sculpted into the hood and traveling down. You can see this tongue. Let me bring it in closer. But you get some spikes in there sculpted. The teeth are painted right there in a nice white, yellowish looking color. I would say more white than anything. But I have this wrapped around. I think it looks cool like that. You could have it however you like. You know, if you just want to display it like that. And, wow, that's a crazy looking tongue. Whoa. So yeah, I just like the way it looks wrapped around. I think that looks really cool. And as for the rest of the legs, I mean, nothing much going on except that nice shiny blue paint. But my eyes are always attracted to this tongue right here. That's just what always grabs my attention because it's so cool looking. You know, you get more of the teeth traveling down. And all the way down here, it curls up at the end, but it is nice and pliable. So, you know, if you want to get her in some crazy poses and you want to make the tongue look dynamic as possible, you can move it around however you like. Even though it's not bendable, I think it'll still look good in photos no matter what. Then looking at the rest of the feet, they are newly sculpted, so you get those ballerina flats that she usually wears, but you have a more symbiotic touch to them. And the wow, the spiky points right there at the tip of the toes, that looks pretty crazy. So that looks cool. And she does have peg holes at the bottom, unlike Miles. And since both figures do not include any accessories, we'll just jump straight into the articulation. So for Miles, his head moves that far up, and that's real good. It moves that far down, moves left, right, and he does have some head tilt. You got the arms that move that far up, down, all around. You have the shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and again, this is a newly sculpted arm, so you got some good range there. Good to know. And you have a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge. Ab crunch moves that far forward, that far back. You got the waist swivel. You got his legs that move that far apart. It kicks up that high, real high. That's good. And it kicks that far back. You got his legs that rock around, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and he does have the heel to the Venomized butt, so really cool. And you have the calf swivel. Ankles move up that far, down that low, and he has all around ankle rockers. Now to cover articulation for Venom, or Ghost Spider, whatever, you know what I mean. Her head moves that far up, and this is the problem that I've run into. It's annoying because every time I want to move her head up, it actually just pops off, so I really can't get a good look for her to look far up, and that really bothers me. It looks that far down, so that's not too bad. Left, right, and not even any head tilt. But her arms move that far up. That's good. Down, all around. You got the shoulder swivel, elbow swivel, and single jointed elbows. Sadly, you have the wrist swivel and the wrist hinge. Diaphragm joint that only moves that far forward, sadly, and that far back. It swivels, it pivots, and it rocks around. Her legs spread that far apart. She only kicks up that high, not much, and kicks back only that far. That's not really good at all. And her legs rock around. Thigh swivel and the double jointed knees, but no heel to the Venom butt. And you have the boot swivel, where the calf swivel and the ankles move up, down, and all around ankle pivot. Now to start off comparisons, here is Venom next to Venom and Miles next to the Venom Wave 1 Carnage. Here they are next to the symbiote Spider-Man and retro animated series Classic Spidey. Here they are next to their fellow wavemate, the movie Venom, which I already reviewed, so be sure to check that out. Finally, here they are with their comic book counterparts, Spider-Gwen and Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales. And for fun, I tried doing a head swap with their alternate heads. Gwen Stacy's head fits perfectly, but unfortunately not Miles, as the neck peg is different. I don't know why they keep doing this sometimes, but it's annoying. Would have looked cool, but oh well. And now for my on the shelf segment, here is my Venomized Ghost Spider and Miles Morales on my Venomverse display. And as you can see, I'm filling out this shelf pretty quickly. Once I finish wrapping up this wave, it's going to look like my shelf has been completely consumed by the symbiotes. And now to wrap things up, and I got a lot to say here. So my final rating for Venomized Miles Morales is a 7.5 out of 10, and I'll give Ghost Spider a rating of 6.5 out of 10. Both of these figures do not come with any accessories, but for this, to make up for the cost of the Baf, I don't care because the Baf came out to be one of the greatest Bafs ever, so I'm okay with that sacrifice. Miles has the better articulation out of the two, which makes him more fun for posing. However, even though I gave him a higher score than Venom, I have to say that I like the overall look of Venom over Miles. It's definitely one of the most unique symbiote designs I've ever seen. I love the colors on the paint, the spiky jacket, arms and feet. The hood and tongue combo is wild. I wish the hood was removable, but the tongue makes for some amazing photos and display. The look is what saved this figure from me giving it a lower score because she looks freaking awesome, but damn, her articulation is absolutely poor. The head keeps popping off every time I move it up, and that female teen body buck did not age well. I mean, it's been 5 to 6 years since they used this mold, which I believe was first used for the Jubilee Baf, correct me if I'm wrong. It's extremely limited in range to the point where it feels like the figure doesn't want to pose itself on their own if they could. And for the spider-like characters who are agile, this body does not do them any justice. I hope they are working on a new female teen body with the Invisipin tech and better articulation because this mold has to be retired. It's time to see a new sculpt soon. Speaking of sculpt, the newly sculpted parts on Miles Morales came out great, and it's really hyping me up to see it introduce an ultimate version of Carnage for the first time in the line. We need more Ultimate Universe Spider-Man characters. At the end of the day, I'm still happy to get to add more symbiote characters to my Venomverse shelf that I started this year. It really makes me look forward to getting more of them. So now I kick it back to you guys. What do you guys think of these figures? Which character would you like to see next from the Maximum Venom series in Legends form? That Venomized Hulk would be pretty insane to see. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. That was my review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Link is in the description below. Get your Marvel Legends Venom Wave 2020 at Big Bad Toy Store. Link is in the description below. If you want to purchase props and dioramas, visit my shop at shopxmanny87.com. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.